Natalie from Alamo Quilt Shop. Sorry, we're running a minute or two late this morning. We were having a little challenge with the camera. So I'd like to extend a special welcome to anybody who's joined us from our Alamo Sew and Time Facebook group. I really appreciate all the photos that you're sharing, your projects, great interaction between everybody in the group, and so really appreciate your support there. Just wanted to remind you that these sessions are really meant to be interactive sessions. So as I'm going through the program this morning, and we have a pretty short program for you today, you can actually ask questions as we're going along if you need to see something again. As we did last month, we're going to have a special prize for anybody who's joining us live today. So stay tuned through the end of the broadcast, and we'll let you know what you get for taking the time to be with us live this morning. And as usual, every month with Alamo Sew and Time, we have special savings for people who watch the video. If you can't make it live and you get a chance to get to it before the weekend is over, we'll have special savings that expire on Sunday evening. So this month, we gave you an opportunity to win a prize by guessing what our project is. So before we reveal that, I'm going to take just a minute and go over projects that we've done in previous months, in case this is the first time you've joined us, just kind of highlight some of the things that we've done before. So first, when we started, our first broadcast of Alamo Sew and Time was back in April, and we did this really fun pillowcase. And we got the pattern for this off of the Fab Shop Hop website. So if you haven't joined or checked out the Fab Shop Hop, it's a great way to get exposure to several different quilt shops every month, and they have some fantastic prizes that you could win. So we have instructions. The project sheet is in our Facebook group for this, and the video tutorial for this was back in April. For May, we went over making hexagons without using paper. I misplaced the project that we did, but I showed you how you could actually design your own hexagon project, and then we went over how you can fussy cut and actually sew them together without having to go through the step of the paper piecing. So it's a great way to streamline that process for making projects with hexagon. So June, we went over half square triangles, and I shared a project with you that I created just called Make It Fun. Can you see that okay? This is from Make It Fun, and all I did was take some bigger squares of a fun fabric and then created some just random shapes out of half square triangles. So this is a version I did sticking with just black and white and some fun fabric on a black background. I did another one with some really cute laurel birch, and on this one, what I did, we've got some different colored fabrics in the larger patches. So you've got the blue and the green, and then just to make it a little more interesting, I took some different bright colors for the half square triangle blocks, and again put those together completely randomly, stuck to the same fabric for the light on these, and then just added a really fun border to it. So this project is in the June version of the Alamo Sew and Time, and then last month we did a tote bag or a little purse called Stack It Up, and Nicole actually broadcast that and created it. So now for the mystery solved, we actually had 6 people guess correctly between our Facebook group and another Facebook group out there. And so this is what I did with the blues and browns. So I don't have a name for it yet. I'm thinking maybe Curly Log Cabin, but if you'd like an opportunity to win a kit to make this, and it's four large squares, so there's a total of 16 log cabin squares in here, Those go together to make 4 bigger squares separated by stashing. And I think this finishes out at about 27 by 27. I haven't finished this off. I'm contemplating redoing the edges of it and just using it in a larger quilt. But if you'd like, like I said, if you'd like an opportunity to win the fabrics to put one of these together, a wall size, then give a suggestion for a name for the project. So I started to say watching live. If you're watching with us live today, let us know where you're watching from, and that way we'll know who you are, so we can send you the fabrics to make one of these squares. That's what you'll get for watching live with us today. So make sure you comment either on YouTube, and if you look over to the right of your screen, there should be a place where you can leave comments. And if you don't want to do it there on the YouTube, you can also do it in the Alamo Sew and Tie Facebook group if you're a member of that group. So let us know that you're watching live with us, and we will get some fabric off to you. So what I'd like to do today is share some tips with you. If you're brand new to quilting, and we've had some questions from people who are just getting started, so we're going to talk about some basics. But I'm also going to talk about some tips that even if you've been sewing for a while, maybe if you haven't heard these ideas before, it'll be some ways that you can improve the accuracy and maybe decrease frustration. If you get frustrated, your blocks don't come out square or they don't come out the right size. So the first thing that we did on this is we made sure that we cut the fabric on the lengthwise grain instead of the crossways grain. The lengthwise grain is sturdier and it won't stretch as much when you're sewing. So we cut all the fabrics on the lengthwise grain. The next thing that we did is we cut all of the pieces to the correct size ahead of time. There are some techniques out there for some chain piecing where you can sew strips, squares to a strip of fabric, but if you're if any of your seams are off or things aren't coming out correctly, the more you add to that, the more distortion you can have by the end of the quilt. So we made sure that we cut all of our strips and pieces to the proper size first. The other thing I would do is make sure you check your seam allowance or your 1/4 inch seams to make sure that those are accurate. There's a number of ways you can do that. You can put a ruler underneath your needle and just check the distance between your needle and your guide for your 1/4 inch foot. There's some methods that you can use by sewing strips together and making sure that they come out the correct width. But whatever method you use, make sure that your 1/4 inch seam allowances are coming out correctly, and that'll give you a great finished block when you're done. And so the other benefit to cutting the pieces the size that they're meant to be is as you start sewing pieces together. So I started with sewing just these 2 blocks together. When I go to add this one, I'm going to make sure that these 2 line up correctly with this piece here, end to end. And that's how you're going to make sure that your block comes out square and they come out to the right size. As I go along and get farther, I may actually pin and just kind of, if I need to, if I've got just a little bit slack, I can work it in. Otherwise, I may need to correct a couple of seams before I move on. So doing that really helps for accuracy. The other thing I'd like to tell you about is there's some log cabin rulers by Marty Michelle, and you may wonder why would you use a ruler for log cabin? You're just cutting essentially strips of fabric. But the nice thing about the rulers is that they've got markings on here, and she's got several different sizes depending on what size finished log cabin strip you need. But she's got the markings on here, so you know it's marked for you for the original strips that you cut, and then it's got all of the incremental markings. So this one here is one that would finish out for a 1 inch finished strip, like the one that we did in our project here. So the math is done for you, which on the 1 inch is no big deal, right? You're doing 1.5, 2.5, 3.5 inch pieces. But as you start working with some different sizes, it's nice to have somebody who's done the math on what size each incremental piece is supposed to be, and those are marked here on the ruler. So they come with some great instruction booklet, and she's also used a reusable, I guess, tab on here to connect the instructions to the ruler. So, you know, if you're like me, you buy a tool and it's great and you love how it works and you put it away for a while and you can't remember what you were supposed to do with it. So having the attachable instructions make it nice to be able to store the instructions with the ruler. So that is our project for this month. Later today, I will have the instructions up in the Facebook group, Alamo Sewing Time, for this project. I didn't want to put it up ahead of time just because we were making this a mystery and a way for people to have an opportunity to win a prize. About the Facebook group, if you're not already participating and you haven't heard about it, it's called Alamo Sewing Time, and it's really meant to complement this monthly live broadcast. You can go on and ask questions about the project. We do weekly photo contests. It's not really a contest per se, but more like a drawing. So I will put up a theme for the week of what type of picture you can do. I think last week we did quilts with yellow in them. The week before was red. We've done some with pictures with strips in them, or quilts with stars in them. And everybody who posts a photo that week in the Facebook group will have an opportunity to win 6 fat quarters. So I've gotten some great feedback on that. People excited to get free fabric just from sharing with others. And it's a wonderful group of people. They're very encouraging and generous in what they share with us. So that's one of my places to go and get some eye candy. So, like I think I mentioned already, for watching live with us today, if leave a comment with your name and where you're watching from, and we will send you the fabrics to make one of these squares, so a blue square or a brown square. And then, as usual, our weekend savings for anybody who's watched with us this weekend, we are offering 10% off of the Marty Michelle rulers. And that will just be through tomorrow night. In order to get that discount, when you go to check out on the website on alamoquiltshop.com, enter coupon code LOGCABIN, and that will automatically adjust the price for you. And you can buy one, or you can buy all of them that we have on the website. She has created rulers for a finished strip size of 1/2, 1 inch. This ruler does 3/4 and 1 1/2 finished strip sizes. There's one for 5/8 and 1 1/4 finished size, and then this one does 1 inch and 2 inch. So if you do a lot of log cabin projects, particularly of a specific size, it's a really great tool to have. The other savings that we have available for you this weekend will be 30% off of wide back fabrics. And we've actually added 3 new ones to the website this weekend. So just use coupon code BACKING, and you'll get 30% off any wide back fabrics that you purchase. I also wanted to mention our value center. If you haven't checked that out already, there's some great fabrics in there starting at just $4.38 a yard. That would be for the Tokyo Treasures. So that also makes great backing fabric if you like to piece your backs, or just get regular width fabric and piece that together. All kinds of colors. So wonderful for using quilt backs. There's over 200, close to 300 products in the Value Center, and all at fabulous prices. So go on our website, check out the Value Center, make sure you don't miss out on the savings, and once they're gone, they're gone. So if you see something you like, buy it now before somebody else snags it up from you. So that's what we have for you today. Any questions, Nicole, from out there in World Wide Web? So we thank you for joining us for Alamo Sewing Time. We look forward to seeing you in September, and we hope you enjoyed our project and we hope you learned something today. Have a great day.